What is up, guys? Welcome to another trade recap. To end off the week, we got a nice win on NQ. We took two trades this morning after 10 a.m. news dropped. You can see here that we took a loss on the first trade and then we won on our second trade here. So we're going to go ahead and break it down. So as you all know, if you've been following NQ and the trade recaps, we've been bullish on NQ for quite a long time now. So if you look at the daily time frame on NQ, this is the micro NQ contract, but on the daily time frame here, we've been bullish ever since we broke here. Ever since we broke this high on April 2nd, the daily time frame has been breaking bullish consistently and multiple times, breaking bullish. We had a nice reaccumulation here on the daily, and then price started to go again. So after June, looks like June 23rd, price was very bullish. So we had a very consecutive daily bullish candles on NQ. So coming into July 3rd, I was looking at the 4-hour time frame. So yesterday, if you look at my trade recap for June 2nd, the 4-hour time frame, we've been in this range here on the 4-hour time frame. So this was a 4-hour reaccumulation. So a reaccumulation is simply when price accumulates to the upside, we're breaking bullish. We have a sweep of the low, and then price confirms to us on a lower time frame, like a lower time frame break of structure to the upside, that we're bullish again. So we had that on the 4-hour time frame. So you can see here that the 4-hour time frame, we've been bullish for a while. Okay, breaking bullish. So we're not breaking any lows yet. We're just having protected lows here. Protected lows. Maybe we have a little reaccumulation here, or actually protected low here as well. And then price sweeps this low. So we have a nice reaccumulation. A lot of people call it nowadays like a liquidity sweep. Maybe you guys are familiar with that. I know it as reaccumulation. So I trade Wyckoff. I trade Wyckoff concepts. Okay, a reaccumulation is pretty much the same thing as a liquidity sweep. So a 4-hour time frame reaccumulation here, we swept an old low. Okay, an old protected low. So we were short-term bearish in this range here. Okay, and then we confirm it on the lower time frame. So if you go to the 1-hour time frame, okay, inside the 4-hour range, because this is our 4-hour range here. 4-hour range. If I can just type this in so it's a little bit more clear. So this is our 4-hour range that we're currently in. Okay, 4-hour, and then we have another 4-hour range here. Okay. So we're inside this range. So the next high we're targeting on the 4-hour time frame is this high up here. I even did multiple outlooks as well, that we were headed towards the 22,934 level as well. And we clearly just, kept on breaking bullish on the 1-hour time frame all the way up to the high, and then that's where it's currently at right now. Okay, so really clean price action on NQ. This is really clean price action. We just broke all-time highs as well. So when I confirmed that price was bullish again inside of the 4-hour range was after this break of structure right here. Okay, so not this one. It's actually this one down here. So once we had this break of structure to the upside on the 1-hour time frame, which I also did a breakdown yesterday of, as soon as price broke this high, even though we wicked it, okay, we took that liquidity, you can see on the lower time frames there on the 5-minute time frame that we turned bullish. Okay, you can see that we turned bullish, and then that's where we took our trade yesterday. Okay, that's where we took our trade yesterday to the upside, because price is bullish on a 4-hour, 1-hour, and then 5-minute, and then 1 minute. Okay, so coming into today's price action, we had 9:30 open right over around this area here. We had 9:30 open, but we had 10 a.m. red news. So I didn't look for a trade till 10 a.m. So coming into this session, we were already above this 4-hour range. So I knew, okay, we're definitely bullish, but I don't see any reason for me to look for shorts because every single time frame is bullish. So I'm a trend follower. So a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, since we reached all-time highs, price is just gonna suddenly, break bearish here, which that could happen, but there's no sign of that confirmation happening yet. So that's the only reason why I don't look for reversals. I trade with the trend. So 1-hour time frame, looks a little overextended here. And after 10 a.m. red news, okay, which is right here, I had my setup right here for a +2 risk reward. Okay, that's my 2 trades. I took a -1 there and then a +2. But you'll see here that after 9:30 open, we had a really clean setup before 10 a.m. So that's unfortunate. You know, this was actually the better setup here on NQ. This 9:30 looks like 9:30, yeah, 9:30 open setup. But that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna be able to take every single trade. I need to follow my rules and only trade after 10 a.m. news if we have 10 a.m. red news. Okay. So yeah, I only look for trades after all red news has passed. Okay, so I went ahead and actually skipped this one, but I waited for the next 5-minute correction, which was up here. This was the next 5-minute correction. Okay, price inside this range here, we had a nice ICI. So this was our first setup that we took. So if we scale in, I went ahead and buy stopped, okay, this high right here. So we went ahead and buy stopped this high, put my stop loss under the 5-minute low, and then price just immediately went into drawdown, unfortunately, and then stopped us out at -1 before we took our next trade. So the next trade, once I saw this bearish pullback here on the 5-minute time frame, I said, okay, price is setting up again. So if you go to the 5-minute time frame, we have a nice pullback. So this is our 5-minute high, 5-minute low, and now we're inside the 5-minute range. So every single time frame is bullish still. So 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 5 minutes bullish, but it's pulling back. So as price is pulling back on our 5-minute, I know that the 1-minute time frame is short-term bearish. So you can see that it's short-term bearish. We're making higher or lower lows, lower highs. Okay, we're making lower lows. Okay, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. And all I did after we broke this low down here on the 1-minute time frame, okay, I said, okay, I'm just gonna wait for a break of structure to the upside on the 1-minute time frame, and we had it right here. A nice break of structure to the upside. We have a nice correction. All I look for is one bearish candle once we have a nice impulse to the upside. Okay, this was a nice impulse because we broke a previous lower high, which was this one right here on the 1-minute. It's very clear that that's a 1-minute lower high. Okay, so this is a change of state. A lot of people call it change of state, market structure shift, whatever you call it. Okay, this shows me that there's money coming into the market, and all I'm doing is waiting for a correction. So a correction of at least one bearish candle. So once we have this bearish candle, I set my buy stop up here above the 1-minute high, and I put my stop loss under the 5-minute low. And then price continues down, gives us more of a correction, but that's fine because our buy stop is up here. We're not in the trade yet. So price is basically showing us that it's continuing higher once it triggers our buy stop up there. Okay, so that's why I love buy stops, because we have to literally be triggered into the trade, into momentum to the upside if price is truly bullish. And sometimes what could happen too is when I set my buy stop up here above a 1-minute high, then price can continue to the downside and never trigger us. So then I just cancel my buy stop. So I never participated in any trade. Okay, so that's what's great about buy stops and ICIs, because this is an impulse correction, and I just take the next impulse to the upside. Okay, so then once we got triggered into the trade, all I did was wait for price to break a 5-minute high. So we broke the 5-minute high here. We even hit a nice 1-to-1. Then I moved my stop loss to break even, and then price almost hit our break even here, but it didn't. We were like pretty long ways, honestly, above our entry anyways, but pretty close. And then it starts trading above and then hits a nice 1-to-2 risk reward. So if you look at all my trade recaps, you'll see that the ones we win and move our stop loss to break even, price does end up continuing if price is clean, obviously, because if price wasn't clean, then we just get a break even or a loss. Okay, so that was it for today's price action. Tomorrow, July 4th, is a bank holiday, so I'm not going to be trading tomorrow, but I'm going to be trading next week, possibly. I'm going to be pretty busy next week, so I'm going to see if I can live stream or not, but I'll update you guys inside my Discord, so make sure to join that. But yeah, other than that, we got a nice, -1, met all our rules, and then a nice +2 risk to reward to make up for that loss, and then we got a little bit of profit as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. I also recorded this, look at my trade execution as well, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next trade recap. Peace.